Jared F. Starfighters and Tribe World. My name is Carlin Jones, and this is a Starfighter TV analysis. And today, we're going to discuss the most talked about, the most disliked character in the entire Tribe series. Today we're talking about Danny. Season 2 of The Tribe is my favorite season of the series. This season gave us a lot more action, a new menacing antagonist, and a handful of new characters, one of them being Danny. For this analysis, I will be covering 3 topics. The first topic being why her character was created for the series, and why the show's creators and writers kept her on such a short leash. The second topic being the potential her character had, and what would have happened if the actress would have stayed on the show. And the last topic being, what was Danny's legacy on the series? Now, to help me with these topics, I brought along some special guests who are fans of the Tribe series. For each topic of this analysis, these fans are going to share their personal opinions on how they feel about Danny as a character. Now, before we get into this analysis, I have to say, this analysis will contain spoilers for seasons 1, 2, and 3. This analysis won't ruin the entire series for you, but just be cautious if you haven't finished any of these seasons. You could be in for quite a surprise. So with that said, if you like the content, please like, comment, and subscribe. Now let's get into it.
Selling dreams that turn into nightmares?
Our dream is real, and we've come a long way, and we're not gonna give up now.
We? Don't you mean you? What's in it for you, Bray? You get to be king again? You get to win your precious Amber back?
One of the most fundamental reasons why Danny is such a hated character is because of the lack of individuality she was given. Let me explain. In season 1, the show introduces us to a protagonist named Amber. During a virus outbreak that spread across the world, which killed the entire population of adults, Amber is struggling to survive with her best friend Dale. After a few terrifying events, Amber and a group of teenagers decide to form a tribe in an abandoned mall, calling themselves the Mallrats. Showing bravery, compassion, and honesty, Amber did everything she could for her tribe members, telling them she would protect them, even if it means losing her own life. In one episode, Amber made one of the greatest personal sacrifices, just so the tribe could stay together. Because of this, the Mallrats accepted Amber as their leader. At the end of season 1, or I should say at the very beginning of season 2, because these episodes overlap each other, Amber dies. When I first initially watched this episode, I was shocked, stunned, baffled even. As a fan, I didn't have enough time. Hell, the Mallrats themselves didn't have enough time to mourn her passing. It was as if the show's creators knew Amber would be back in season 3. And for season 2 and season 2 alone, we were introduced to Danny, Amber's replacement.
Looking back on the show, I feel that Danny's character was not handled well at all. They really dropped the ball hard with her character. I always feel like she was meant to be a part of the show, since the beginning, and potentially, have like some type of power struggle with Amber. But with the departure of Beth Allen and the Mallrats left with no Amber, I feel like they rewrote Danny's character like at the last minute, and then just didn't know what to do with her and let her sink at the wayside, which, wasted all the potential that character had.
I can honestly say I did not like Danny as a character, and it has nothing to do with Amber or anything like that. I was actually introduced to Danny before Amber because of the order in which I watched the show. I guess at the time I just noticed those seams where she didn't fit and wasn't cohesive with the rest of the characters in the writing. Maybe subconsciously I was picking up on that, but I didn't care for her at all.
Now, you're probably wondering, on an analysis that's all about Danny's character, why am I spending so much time on this topic talking about Amber? Well, because it's close to impossible to converse about Danny's character and not mention Amber. The sole purpose of Danny's creation is equivalent to a substitute teacher, replacing someone that will eventually be back. Danny's personality, morals, even the guy she was dating were exactly the same as Amber. Now granted, it's never easy for a character, let alone an actress, to replace someone who was loved by the fans. And it doesn't make it any easier if the writers and show's creators gave you the same characteristics of the character you're replacing. In my opinion, personally, I find it downright disrespectful, not only to us Tribe fans, but to the character Danny herself. In truth, it honestly saddens me that Danny's character in this creative post-apocalyptic world was not only a waste of everyone's time, but a waste in her potential.
So really, I think the part of Danny that should have been explored a lot more was her desire for the Bill of Rights, which I think set her apart from Amber, who always wanted people to trust her moral compass. And that part of her character was mentioned, but never really fully developed. And they kept letting her kind of be a damsel in distress, when really, if they had played up her strength, I think she would have easily rivaled Amber in terms of being a leader that people would respect. But mostly it was just sad that they had a character with such potential with that backstory and just never really gave her a storyline to see her evolve. And obviously her absence from the following seasons was not missed by everyone, but certainly missed by me.
Characters in TV shows come and go, whether it's for a few episodes or a season or two. There's nothing new about that. The Tribe has countless of characters who come and go. However, there hasn't been a character quite like Danny. A character who comes and goes, but whose presence echoes the theme of the show in every single episode in the entire series. In Season 2, Bray, the now new leader of the Mallrats, travels alone to search for the antidote to the virus, stumbling upon what seems to be an abandoned building. But Bray doesn't find the antidote. Instead, he finds someone else, a lonesome teenager named Danny. With a heart-to-heart conversation, Bray convinces Danny to join the Mallrats and to help them find the antidote to the virus. A handful of episodes later, the Mallrats find the antidote to the virus and are able to distribute it to the people across the city. Now, I must confess, leading up to this moment, every episode with Danny has been close to unbearable. Each episode, she is constantly whining and complaining to people on why they're not doing their part to change the city. Every time she would speak about her Bill of Rights, which were a set of rules and laws people must follow so they can live life like they did before the virus. But her Bill of Rights only made her come across as an obsessive dictator. A dictator, besides Bray, no one cares about. I didn't understand why she was so bossy to everyone. I didn't understand why she talks over people to get her point across. I didn't understand why she was so desperate to change the world. I didn't understand until I saw this scene.
No one else can know about this. Do you promise?
Yeah, I promise. Please, just tell me.
That was my father's apartment, right? You worked there too. On the anti-aging serum.
He was involved?
He was in charge. It was my father who wiped out all the adults.
After I watched the scene, I honestly still didn't like Danny's character, but what was different now is I now understood her.
when I look back at Danny's character, I feel it was, in a way, very creatively handled good, because it made her interesting, because we knew she had a secret that she was trying to hide, but it took a while before we knew what that secret was.
I definitely believe that the actress Ella Wilkes was hired on to replace Beth Allen, but not to replace her character Amber. The writers already knew going into the season after it that the story was moving forward, not stagnating. Danny was a part of that process of forward propulsion.
Every adversary the Mallrats have faced, every main character who was killed, and every death which was caused by the virus was all because of Danny's father. I might not necessarily like Danny as a character, but out of all the Mallrats, she's the one I respect the most. Every episode when she looks outside or sees someone dies, she puts all the blame on herself. And every second of every minute, she spends her time trying to change the world back to what it was, even if it's for better or worse. At the end of season 2, Danny and other Mallrats were captured by the Chosen. And for the first time during this entire season, I actually cared what was going to happen to her. I couldn't wait to see how the series was going to explore more of her past and her future. Nowadays, when I watch season 2 of The Tribe, I no longer get angry when Danny is being annoying. I no longer zone out when she is complaining to others. Now I just get sad. Sad from the fact that Danny could have been one of the greatest characters in this entire series, and we'll never know what happens to her. Say whatever you want about Danny's character, you can love her, you can hate her, but what you can't deny is that she is the walking embodiment of the show's message to its viewers, which is no matter how dire the situation is or how lost the world has become, the only way to survive is to keep the dream alive.
I feel really sad about Danny's legacy because of how clumsily she was thrown in, because the writers were hampered by how tightly knitted that storyline was. They were very limited as to how they could make Danny stand out and be her own person. Danny's legacy forever is just either an Amber replacement, a different version of Amber. She's forever entwined with Amber. Because regardless of whether or not you think Danny is an Amber replacement, she did exist and she did achieve a great deal of things. To take that from her just because she's no longer on the show is wrong. You know, almost everything Danny did, the credit is given to Amber. Amber, who wasn't even around, you know, and had nothing to do with those things. As much as I didn't like Danny, I never felt that was fair.
For my last topic, I want to talk about legacy. Characters in television can leave a long-lasting effect on their viewers, depending on how the character was introduced to all the way to their final moments on a TV series. It can affect your overall feelings for that character. Danny wasn't the first character in television history to replace a main cast character, and she won't be the last. So with that said, I made this analysis because 1, I love The Tribe, and 2, I think we can all name a TV show we love with a character we just didn't understand. Mine just so happens to be Danny from The Tribe. So right now, I want you to think about something. I want you to think about a TV show you love with a character on it you just really never understood. Now ask yourself, has that character made the show memorable for you? From all the episodes or seasons you've watched, did that character give you any lasting memories? Now, whether they're good or bad, I can't really speak on that. So I'll leave it up to you.
Reading Starfighter. been recruited by the Star League to defend the frontier against Zur and the Kodan Armada.
Yeah.
Get ready. Prepare for blast-off.
Alright, Starfighters and Tribe World, that was my Starfighter TV analysis. If you like the content, make sure you like and subscribe to the channel. And please comment below on a TV show you love with a character you just didn't really like. Until then, Victoria Death, Starfighters.